My name is Tim Hannett. I'm a class teacher at Woodlands Primary School in Bradwell in Norfolk. We've been invited to Google Santa Day along with 5 superstar children to talk about a day with Google. So we're going to go through a day in our school life and how Google fits in or could fit in to every single day of our life, every single lesson of the school day. So without further ado, I'd like the children just quickly introduce themselves so you know who we've got where, and then we'll talk about Google.
Hi, I'm Fiona. I'm 10 years old and I am in Year 6. Hi, I'm Betsy. I'm 11 years old and I'm in Year 6. Hi, I'm Bailey and I am 9 years old and I'm in Year 4.
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm 10 years old and I'm in Year 6. Hi, I'm Trafford. I'm 10 years old and I'm in Year 6. We all love Google.
The use of Google Apps at our school starts way before arrive in school. So back over to Mr. Hanley.
Before I quickly talk about how we use Google Apps as teachers, just to let you know, obviously, the children's worked really hard on all these presentations. If you are on Twitter and you can tweet a comment to the children with WPSBet of hashtag, they'll get those printed out in a nice book for them in assembly tomorrow morning, which I think would be lovely. So you're on Twitter, we really appreciate your comments using that. So just a bit of background about Google in our school, our local authority. I teach in Norfolk. Norfolk is the only local authority in the country at the moment to have given every child and every member of staff Google Apps access county-wide. County mail and our county document setting on there. So in our school, we have got those for children, but we've chosen to use those just for staff side tasks. That's basically so we've got a separation between all the planning and maybe the confidential reports that could be shared through Google Docs with the staff and what the children can see too, because I don't want to log into my emails and see stuff that the children shouldn't be seeing about them. So we've also set up our own woodlands-primary.co.uk Google Apps domain. That was dead easy to do. I'm no techno expert, but that didn't take much work. Set our own Google Apps domain. So every child here now has their own at woodlands-primary.co.uk email account, which they use for Google Apps. So our use of Google Apps starts way before the start of a school day. Google Apps is used in our school for pretty much everything. Our calendar is shared in Google Apps, so we know what's going on. Our day-to-day documents, so we know what's going on that day is on Google Apps. All our planning is shared on Google Apps. All communication with parents and things is done through Google Apps too. So we use Google Apps for everything we possibly can in school. Because it just makes it so much easier. I don't have to worry about, is it on the public network? Can I access that at home? Oh, no, I can't. So but we can just log on to the Google Docs and get access to everything we need. So for me, as a teacher, it is really, really valuable as a planning communication tool inside school. Obviously, though, Google comes into its own when we start the school day. So over to Jack.
Before I talk about how we can use Google Apps in maths, I want to show you our learning platform, which is powered by Google Apps. When we log in with our woodlands-primary.co.uk account, we see this front page, which makes it really easy to access all of our favourite tools and websites. There are lots of ways you can use Google Apps in maths. Here are just some of them. We can use Google Apps to help us with our data handling work. We can easily create a Google form with lots of super questions on and share this with people in our class, school, or even the world. We can then use this real data to analyse. It beats using boring made-up data out of a textbook. We can also use Google Spreadsheets to help us analyse the data and create lots of different types of graphs and tables. It's dead easy to share what we have created on our class website. We can also use Google Maps to help us too. In Google Maps there is a really cool measurement tool which allows us to calculate the distance between points. This is really handy as it allows us to solve some tricky problems using real life scenarios.
Next up in our school day is English, and there are lots of different ways we can use Google Apps to help us here too. We can use a shared Google spreadsheet to collect different words. For example, as many different synonyms for said as possible, or as many words with the A phoneme or the Y grapheme. Because the cells in the spreadsheet get locked when someone is writing in them, it means we can't end up writing in the same place, which makes working with the whole class on one document really simple. We can collect lots of different words really quickly using this method.
Of course, we can use Google Docs for many different things in English too. We can use it to work by ourselves or to write together with others. For example, we could write different sections of story in one document because our work can easily be shared with Mr. Hanley. It is really easy for him to show our work and on the interactive whiteboard for others to see. The comment feature on Google Docs allows us to comment on each other's work really easily and for Mr. Hanley to mark our work and help us improve it in real time, and we are writing it. We also use the chat feature to help us share our super phrases, wow words, or to give our people ideas. Next up is R&D2.
Through Google Apps, our school can give us access to lots of other tools. One of our favourite is Avery. In Avery, there is a super detector drawing tool, as well as a great paint program, which allows us to create some amazing pieces of art. Because it is linked to our Google Apps account, all the work is stored in our Google Documents list.
We also love using Google SketchUp. This isn't online, but is a super Google tool. It allows us to create our own 3D models, and it is really simple to use.
And of course, Google Images is really handy in creative lessons too. We can easily find images, and the safe search features means it's less likely we will come across things that might upset us. We can also search for images which we are allowed to use in other things for different styles of images. For example, clip art or line drawing.
In the afternoon, we spend our time exploring a theme which takes in all subjects. We use Google Apps a lot in our theme work.
Of course, Google Search allows us to easily find out lots of information about our topics. We have become quite good at using search to find the information we need. Features such as related searches and the news search helps us find the information we want quickly. We can use a shared Google document to collect all the information we have found out. This is great for when we are working in groups, as we can all research different parts and share it all together.
We can also create Google presentations to share our learning. We can work together on these, each creating a different slide on a different part of our topic. This means we can work together much quicker than we could do if we were all arguing over one computer.
We also like creating our own Google sites about our topic. We can create these either by ourselves, in groups, or as a class, and it is a great way for us to share what we have learned. It is good to know our sites are sometimes made public, and they are always kept for next year's children to use part of their research.
So that brings us to the end of the school day, but that doesn't mean our use of Google Apps stops here. We all like to use Google Apps at home too.
We can access
all of the work we have done on Google Docs at school when we are at home. This means we can continue our work or go and revisit to make it even better. We can also use Google Docs to do our homework and share it with Mr. Hanley.
We can also continue to work with our friends on our work whilst we are at home. This is something we all enjoy doing.
We can also work on our own projects together. For example, me and Betsy decided to try and plan and write our own rainforest story together, which was great fun. We can also use Google Sites to create our own website on topics we like or know a lot about. So that brings us to the end of our day with Google. What a day! We hope this has shown you just some of the ways in which you can use Google in school and home.
Don't forget, we'd love you to let us know what you think of our presentation. Tweet us using the hashtag WPSBet or visit our bet blog, wps-at-bet.posterius.com.
Thanks so much for listening. Bye! Thank you.
Super.